Hello, church. So today is Tuesday, May 6th. We step into Psalm 63 today. James Mays again knocks it out of the park with some really good commentary. Um, we'll start with the NRSV and then we'll get into what Mays has to share with us. Psalm 63, a psalm of David when he was in the wilderness of Judah. O God, you are my God. I seek you. My soul thirsts for you. My flesh faints for you, as in a dry and weary land where there is no water. So I've looked upon you in the sanctuary, beholding your power and glory, because your steadfast love is better than life. My lips will praise you. So I will bless you as long as I live. I will lift up my hands and call on your name. My soul is satisfied as with a rich feast, and my mouth praises you with joyful lips. When I think of you on my bed and meditate on you in the watches of the night, for you have been my help, and in the shadow of your wings I sing for joy. My soul clings to you, your right hand upholds me. But those who seek to destroy my life shall go down into the depths of the earth. They shall be given over to the power of the sword. They shall be prey for jackals. But the king shall rejoice in God. All who swear by him shall exult, for the mouths of liars will be stopped. Alrighty, and a little bit of Maze for you. Psalm 63 was greatly valued in the early church. It was selected as the morning psalm to introduce the singing of the psalms in the Sunday service. It speaks of the thirst of the soul for God, the quenching of that thirst through the presence of God in the sanctuary, and the response of praise as the expression of life itself. The prayer contains a truly remarkable confession of faith. Your steadfast love, Hesed, which we have talked about before, is better than life. The statement is astounding. The psalmist seems to say that God's faithfulness to him is more valuable than his own life. But Hesed is a characteristic of God that is known in God's preservation of the life of those who call him my God. It is God's Hesed in which the Psalms put their trust and hope for the salvation of life. How can prayer separate God's faithfulness from the life that depends on it and hold it up for praise as more valuable than that life? It seems that the vision of God and the praise of God carried the psalmist to a point at which prayer transcends the soul and its need to contemplate God alone. Trust becomes for a moment pure adoration that leaves the self behind as any participant in the reason for adoration. In the interpretation of patristic times, and that's the early church fathers, this confession was associated with martyrs who valued God more than life and gave up their lives rather than deny their testimony. But in a salvation religion, there is always the danger for all believers to take the value of their own lives as the primary reason to trust God. This verse leads us in prayer to the point of devotion to God alone that must be the goal of all true faith. Woo! Let me read a couple of those sentences again. But in a salvation religion, there's always the danger for all believers to take the value of their own lives as the primary reason to trust God. This verse leads us in prayer to the point of devotion to God alone that must be the goal of all true faith. The For the last two psalms, and this is my own self observation for why I'm responding to Mays over the last couple chapters. He's really hitting on the contemplative nature of prayer and ultimately contemplative nature of our relationship with God, and that is good stuff. Uh, Fun line from Peterson that you might catch, and then I'll comment on in a minute. Psalm 63, a David psalm when he was out in the Judean wilderness. God, you're my God. I can't get enough of you. I've worked up such hunger and thirst for God, traveling across dry and weary deserts. So here I am in the place of worship, eyes open, drinking in your strength and glory and your glorious love. I am really living at last. My lips brim praises like fountains. I bless you every time I take a breath. My arms wave like banners of praise to you. I eat my fill of prime rib and gravy. I smack my lips. It's time to shout praises. If I'm sleepless at midnight, I spend the hours in grateful reflection because you've always stood up for me. I'm free to run and play. I hold on to you for dear life, and you hold me steady as a post. Those who are out to get me are marked for doom, marked for death, bound for hell. They'll die violent deaths. Jackals will tear them limb from limb, but the king is glad in God. His true friends spread the joy, while small-minded gossips are gagged for good. It's a good concluding line there, Maze, and a little bit of rough stuff at the end. The line that was my personal favorite for 63 in the message was, I eat my fill of prime rib and gravy. I smack my lips. It's time to shout praises. Also, I very much like the line, I bless you every time I take a breath. So I hope you find your hunger and thirst for God and find it quenched in the midst of this day's abundant blessings. See ya.